Hi, my name is Elaine. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be working to support our kidney function through yin yoga, and we're going to be awakening the kidney meridian line in the body. So let's get started. Sitting on your mat, potentially on something that will help lift you up a little bit, and just bringing yourself into a nice upright posture. So knees below the hips and hands can rest on the knees or they can be turned up. I'd like you just to get into as comfortable a place as you can. If you want to take a mudra, you can bring your index finger and thumb together in Jnana mudra. And then if it feels right, close your eyes and just allow yourself to arrive in this place in your body. And just notice what the internal weather is like right now for you. How are you breathing? How is the body feeling sitting here right now? Beginning to notice the heaviness of your hips and legs on the ground, supported. And then feeling that lifting up of the crown of your head towards the ceiling or the sky. A sense of ease and softness across your face as you allow your shoulders and elbows to melt down towards the mat. Just beginning to follow the breath on its journey from your nose down, swirling into the mouth and the throat, and arriving in your lungs. And just noticing what is the place that feels most open for the breath to arrive and fully embody. Perhaps it's the chest, it might be the ribs, perhaps even the belly. And just taking this time at the beginning of our practice to think about what you're here for. What would you like to receive from taking the time out of your busy day to do this practice with me? Let that intention guide you to respect your body and to benefit as much as possible from the poses we're about to do together. So just bring your hands together, bow your chin, and just feel the back of your neck release. And then gently lift your head up and we can begin. So we're going to start today's class by just touching our kidneys. So I'd like you to put your hands on your back, and the kidneys are just either side of your spine, just below your floating ribs. And I'd like you just to gently make circular massage movements there. So the kidneys are like two balls that have little yellow hats, and the kidneys are responsible for the cleaning of our blood, filtering system for our body, and they can get very depleted, and if we have too much stress, too much work, and not enough downtime. And on top of our kidneys, to make it even worse, sit our adrenal glands. Go the other way if you haven't changed direction. And these little glands are part of our endocrine system, and they're responsible for our fight or flight response, our get up and go when things are going bad. And they pump out adrenaline and cortisol into our bloodstream so that we can stay alert and move fast and get away from danger. And today's danger can be emails or messages rather than tigers chasing us through the savannah. So while massaging this area, we're sending some warmth and some love and some attention to this area to recognize how important it is. Okay, and then release your hands. So to activate this place, we're going to start with our toes, because the toes are the beginning of this meridian line. So we're going to sit on our toes and we're going to spread them apart. And this is not necessarily an easy thing to do. And if it isn't, and it's excruciating, you can come up here. But if it is possible to stay down, then stay and sit. And we'll just do a couple of stretches for the neck while we're here. So maybe drop your head over towards the right shoulder. And if it would feel nice to use your hand, you can do that. Because the neck generally gets very little attention and it holds that big heavy head on top of it all day long. So just allow a nice sense of release from the shoulder to the ear to lengthen and release any tension that might be hiding there. And then just drop your chin all the way down towards your chest. And you can stay with that, or you can bring your hands interlaced behind your head and allow the elbows to drop. And that will progress that pose by adding a bit more weight, if that feels appropriate for you today. And again, if the toes are screaming at you, come up onto your knees. But if it's okay, they will now beginning to release. We've been here for a minute. Take your hands away, bring your head back up, and then drop your head over towards the left shoulder. And again, feeling that that is enough, or taking the left hand towards the right ear and adding a little bit more weight to increase the depth of that stretch. Steady breaths, telling yourself that you are waking up and bringing lots of attention and love to your kidneys as you take one more breath. And then release. Bring your hands to the floor and then just pat your feet. Whew. Okay, so let's just do the other side. So coming to stretch the front of our feet now. So sitting like this, and if this is too much, then you could also put something underneath you. You can sit on a blanket or a towel if that helps to take some of the weight off. Just doing what will help you to feel the stretch without pain. You can bring your hands behind you and sit back, adding a bit more weight. You can lift your knees off the floor and increase the stretch a little more. So just finding the right place for you to stay in this pose. And then feeling that lovely lift of your chest perhaps as you take some nice slow breaths. So the kidney meridian energy is represented by the season of winter. And winter is what we're really having here in Dubai right now, because in the winter time we are outside. It's the most beautiful weather of all. But by summer it is so hot that we can't really go outside unless it's 6 or 7 in the morning before it gets super hot. So for me, summer is the time when I spend more time inside, which is what we do in the northern hemisphere when it's snowy outside. So it's a really good time to take stock of what's happening on the inside, our mind, our heart, our thoughts, and do less and be more contemplative in our activities. So what springs to mind when you think of things that are calming and relaxing for you to do? That for me would be meditation, reading books, things that don't require a lot of physical energy. So if we quieten the mind, we can begin to listen more to the heart, to the true voice that is there to listen to be acknowledged, and that gets drowned out by our busy, active, doing lives. So come off your feet now and come onto your hands. And we'll just do a couple of cat-cow movements here to release any tension that might be hiding in the back. Again, this is a nice squeeze and release for the kidneys too. Let's sit just at the waistline there. Good. Okay, we're going to come to sit now. So we're going to take the feet together and the knees apart as we come into butterfly pose. Now, as far as the feet come towards you as feels comfortable for the groin. So you decide where that is. I'm just getting my timer ready to put on. And then propping yourself as you start to drop your chin down towards your chest and lower your body forward. Now, as you may know in Yin Yoga, the body will give us our first edge, the place where it says stop, listen to me. And that's where we build a sense of trust. When you respect the first edge, the body will hold it, and then with time it will begin to release. And that is how we get deeper into tight, locked, closed corners of our body. So arrive in your first edge, taking the first few breaths to settle into stillness. And then once you have found that place, relax the places that are not called upon to do anything. And that would certainly be your face, your arms, your shoulders. Once you have relaxed what doesn't have to work in this pose, start to allow the breath to find a place of openness. Imagine the breath like a river, searching for a place to go that is blocked. You can even imagine your kidneys like two little balloons that are filling up as you breathe in and softly emptying as you breathe out. So bringing all your attention and awareness to them. That was a little yawn for me. What the mind focuses on, the body responds to. So coming into our final minute now, you might have noticed that you have peeled away a layer of tightness and the body has let go. So just allow yourself to notice if there's a little bit more relax of the head down. Moment by moment, breath by breath, exploring and feeling and observing the changes in your body. And on your next in-breath, start to slowly bring yourself back up. Oh. Slowly bring your knees together and then take your feet a little wider apart. And we can just windshield wiper from side to side. Just allowing the blood to flow, having opened up that often tight place in our inner thighs. Okay, from here we're going to move into our Sphinx pose. So we're going to come down onto the ground. And as you arrive, just allow the feet to spread to the edges of the mat. And then decide if you're going to need some props here. So for me, elbows are just in front of the shoulders. And I gently pull back. So there's a bit of yang here to help me find my edge. If you're not feeling anything and it feels really comfortable, if you've got a very lordotic back, that might be you. I don't. Then you might need to bring yourself up onto something to give you a bit more height. That can be a bolster or a blanket or a couple of blocks. Find an edge, find a place that is like, okay, this is not comfortable, but I can be here, and allow the magic to begin. So we started off with a few neck stretches, and in this pose you could do some little half circles. So just turning the head to the left, dropping the chin and turning the head to the right as you feel into what is here. So the head is very heavy. So by slowly turning it, we're stretching and releasing tightness in the muscles that hold that head up on our shoulders all day. And when you've done your first minute of shoulder or neck releases, and coming into a place of stillness. So the head can hang down, it can be looking straight ahead. And then see if you can find the place of softness. So you can feel the place that has the edge that is being challenged and released. But then where can you soften? Definitely across the buttocks and the legs, fingers and the hands perhaps, and then the face. And when you have sorted out the different parts of your body in this pose, maybe turn your attention to your breath and allow yourself to go inward and feel that place of openness in this pose. So very different to the last one, which was putting your back into flexion. This one now we're in extension, so feeling the swell of the belly towards the mat. And the release as you let the breath go. Now if you wish, you may want to move into another place if the body is open and wishes to. You can push into your hands and transition into seal pose. This is bringing even more squeeze to the kidneys. It is allowing you to push the ground so your collarbones smile apart, your face is relaxed, and your buttocks is soft again as you stay here for the last 5 breaths. And then start to slowly drape your body back down to the ground and rest. And because our next pose is taking us into a bit more inner groin, let's just slide the knee up and turn towards it with our face as we feel that nice. Sometimes I sleep like this pose. And then I think, uh-oh, I'm going to be wrinkling my face if I do this, and then I make myself roll up to my side. And then turn the other way, slide the knee up towards the elbow, and then turn. Okay, and then start to press the ground, bring yourself back up. We're just going to do a little flow here, so from child's pose into an extension, and then flow back and across. Good, so feeling that squeeze and release of your kidneys as you arch and round your back. And after this next one, we're going to stay back in child's pose. So just bring yourself towards the ground and just notice where the head lands. And for some of you, the head may not be on the ground, the heels may not be on the buttocks, and that is perfectly fine. Just rest your head on something that allows the forehead to be supported. And if there's a big space between the heels and the bottom, then you can also put a pillow in there to help that height to be fixed too. So just coming into wherever, and then deciding what to do with your arms. So you may wish to have your arms in front with elbows bent or back by your heels. And if you were to keep your knees together, you would get more stretch into your lower back, mid-back. And if you were to choose to bring your knees further apart, you would access more into your upper back. So just deciding what position feels best. I'm keeping my knees together and just softening my arms in front of me.
as you lie here? Has the mind wandered off to another time and place? And so often it does that so easily. And the gift of yin is just to notice, to observe that that has happened. And without any judgment, just bring your attention back into this moment, into this breath. Feel it where it goes. Feel it arrive, feel it leave your body. And feel your edges start to dissipate and dissolve. It is a practice that we do over and over again. Just taking 3 more breaths. And then with your stuffy nose, if you're like me, from having my head hanging down, bring yourself back up and release, coming to sit on your mat. So we're now going to go into dragon straddle pose. So I'm going to give you 2 options. You can have your feet wide apart so that you feel this stretch here. You can hold onto your feet or your elbows and gently draw yourself forward until you feel that stretch. And then you can drop your head down to hang. If this is great, but you feel like there's another place you might be able to go to, then you can extend your legs straight out. Now make sure that you don't start to round like this. If you do that, go back to the next bend. If your back can maintain straightness while your legs are extended straight out, then you can be here. And then you're just going to drop your chin, curl it in, and then roll down towards the ground. And we begin. So we warmed up the groin with our first butterfly pose. And now we're going deeper with straddle pose. Again, find your edge, accept it, honor it, respect it. And then start to notice if there's any difference between the left and the right side. When we close our eyes and really feel in, we might notice that there is a difference. I certainly feel my left more than I do my right when I do this. Where can you soften? Where can you let the body simply be here, observing and noticing the places that are being given the chance to release? Finally, where can the breath easily go? Where is the place that is open and free to receive this breath as it enters your body? Go with it with your mind and then let it out, either through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels better. Check that your back of the neck is completely relaxed. Often we hold the head slightly. Just really tuck the chin and let the neck go. Any tingling in the toes, please back away. Maybe you've done too much and just bend the knees. And if you're with me, we've got 30 seconds left. more seconds to create freedom and ease in probably the tightest angle of your hips. Start to make your way back up, and there is a sense of giving them a little rub, saying thank you for releasing, and then bend your knees and start to draw your legs in towards your body, and just turning now to come to lie on your back. So going down slowly to the ground, placing your feet on the floor. And then we're going to come into a gentle twist. So with your feet about as wide as your mat, just allow your legs to drop to one side. And then just turn your head the other way. So the weight of the knees and the legs is twisting your back. So just lying with your arms relaxed and just feeling that nice, deep sense of release. Some of you may wish to have the feet together and just do that. It's not as comfortable for me, but it's certainly an option if that feels better for you. And then just feeling that lifted part of your torso, receiving the breath. And then on your next in-breath, start to bring the knees back up, and all you have to do is literally drop them to the other side. Turn your head away if that feels all right for you. And just let gravity do the work of dropping your knees and gently twisting your spine. Settle into this place, relaxing the face, the shoulders, the feet. And breathing into this lovely lifted side of your torso. Are your lips together or apart? Where is your tongue in your mouth? Slowly bring your legs back, extend them out to the edges of your mat, and come into Shavasana. Maybe you place your hands on your belly, or not.